Assalamu alaikum and hello everyone. Welcome back to another Coro module demo series. So, as you know, my name is Mahmoud Rafiq, cybersecurity analyst at Qubit Consulting. In the previous episode, we explored how Coro protects Microsoft 365 and Google Workspace and other cloud-based threats such as malware, suspicious login, abnormal administrator activity, and the mass data downloads, and other cloud security platforms too. So let's start. Today we are focusing on another tech surface that every organization depends on. So as you know, emails. So emails are very necessary to protect. So nowadays, most of the things are happening through the emails. Email remains one of the easiest ways for an attacker to reach an employee. They don't always need to exploit a server. They don't always need to break through a firewall. Sometimes all they need is one convincing email. So an urgent password request or reset request, a fake Microsoft notification, a malicious invoice, a dangerous attachment, or an email that appears to come from a trusted company executive. One click can expose credentials, install malware, redirect a payment, or give an attacker access to sensitive business information. That is why email security must do more than simply filter obvious spam. It must analyze the sender, the originating IP address, the domain, the message content, the metadata, the links, the attachments, and the behavior behind the message. Today, I will show you the how Coro security, your email security detects suspicious emails. Quarantines threats provide detailed investigation evidence and allows administrator to respond directly from one centralized console. Let's get started. So here we are in the action board. This is the Coro's action board. So this is the same unified dashboard we explored in the previous episodes. At the top, we can immediately see our all security status. There are all 110 open tickets out of the 35 auto resolved tickets. Protected users are 8, and the number of protected devices is 16. Here you can see summary of the open tickets. These are the different modules. Email security modules has 36. Endpoint security module has 35. Core cloud security module has 24. EDR, user data governance, endpoint data governance. Here you can see the workspace health score. So we will drag into most of the ticket types of email security one by one. So we are inside the email security overview. On the left, Coro shows the 30,578 emails have been processed during the last 90 days. You can see the number and the days. So one on the right, we can see the top priority email security alerts. These includes reported by user, blocklisted sender, brand impersonation, spam, suspicious content, suspicious metadata, user impersonation, blocklisted IP, crowd blocked sender, domain spoofing, email phishing, forbidden attachment type, malware in the email attachment, domain impersonation. So we will go and drag into them one by one. So before opening the first alert, let's quickly understand the ticket log. Here we can see email security. At the top, you can see Coro allows us to search for a specific incident. So here we can search different type of incidents here. And these are the three status. One is for open tickets, one is for closed tickets, and one is the combination of open and all. So you can see in the open, these tickets are still open. Then this is already resolved, and these are the in all portion. There are the combination of tickets. We can filter the security module ticket type. Here you can see we can see choose our ticket type like domain is spoofing, and it's gonna be domain spoofing tickets. Show us domain, and then we can also uh, select the timeline, the duration of that incident happens. So every ticket is divided into several sections. Here you can see the overview gives us the human readable explanation of what Coro detects. The full details tab shows us the technical evidence, including the subject, sender, message ID, IP addresses, country, findings, attachments, and message content. The activity log shows everything what happened during the incident, and the comment section allows administrators to document the investigation. This structure makes the investigation process very simply. So the first understand what happened, the review, then review the evidence, and finally take the appropriate action according to them. Here is the action portion, and you can simply click on the apply quick fix. So you can see Coro is very easy to understand, very visible, and very quick to understand. So now we will go one by one to the types of email security, different types of email security tickets. So first of all, let's start with the blocklisted IP. Yeah. So first of all, imagine an attacker sends an email that looks completely normal. The sender's name may appear familiar. The subject may look urgent, and the message may not contain an obvious malicious attachment, but the email originates from an IP address that your organization has already identified as suspicious or untrusted. Coro detects that immediately. Let's open that alert. The overview tells us Coro detects an email from the sender because here you can see the sender and the date, and the IP is currently in falls within an IP address range declared in the workspace block list. So Coro also shows us affected user. So here you can see, and the exact time when that incident happened, and the service is Microsoft 365. Now let's move to the full detail section. Here we can see the subject of the email: change of password required immediately. So this is exactly the type of subject attachment or type of subject attackers use to create urgency. They create some panic situation. Users don't actually understand at that time, and they want the receipt to feel that something must be done immediately. So when user rest, they are less likely to verify the senders, inspect the message carefully. So Coro also shows us the sender's email address. Here you can see the email address from the of the sender, the unique message ID, the originating IP addresses, and the country associated with that IP. Under the findings, we can see the exact reason the message was flagged. Here you can see, in this example, the message failed to meet the organization enforced authentication requirement. This is important because the alert is not based only on how email looks. Puro is examining the technical information behind the message. Now let's open the action menu. Here you can see we can close the ticket, download the original EML file for further investigation, or contact the affected user directly. Downloading the email file is particularly useful when a security analyst wants to inspect that complete email headers, authentication, results, routing information, or message structure using another forensic tool. Everything remains connected to the same incident. So the business value is a suspicious email does not always contain an obvious malicious file or link. Sometimes the strongest warning is the infrastructure behind the message. By detecting emails from blocklisted IP addresses. Coro helps stop known suspicious sources from repeatedly targeting employees. Instead of relying on the users to recognize threat, the security team receives immediately technical evidence and clear investigation paths. So now let's move to one of the most dangerous email threat type. So you can simply close that ticket because the core will already quarantine it and protect the user. So now go to the ticket logs again. Has another type which is malware in attachment, email attachment. Now let's malware in attachment. Attackers frequently hide malicious code inside the files that appears legitimate. It may look like an invoice, a financial report, a delivery notification, a resume, or an urgent business document. But when the users open the file, the attachments may execute malicious code, install unwanted software, steal information, or provide an attacker that which access the device. So let's open the alert. Now here you can see the overview explains that Coro processed an email because it contained an attachment with known malware or malicious code. Coro immediately creates a security ticket that provides the administrator with a recommended quick fix. Here you can see the quick fixes. The recommended responses include blocking the sender's email address, optionally deleting the emails, and closing the ticket after remediation. Coro also provides guidance for fake positives. If the security team investigates the file and it confirms that it is safe, the sender can be allowed and the email can be restored to the recipient's inbox. This gives administrator control without making the response process complicated. Now let's move to the full detail section. Here we can see subject, the message ID, the exact malware findings. In this example, Coro has identified the virus signature as you can see malware test file.bat. Under email attachments, we can hey, this is the file, and we will go to the under email attachments. So we can see the exact file attached to the message and the size and its size. This is extremely valuable during an investigation. The administrator does not have to manually search through Exchange online, locate the message, download the attachment, and then determine which file triggered the alert. The evidence is already connected to the ticket. Now let's click quick fix. Coro gives us several responses. We can permanently delete only this email. We can add the sender domain to the block list and permanently delete this email for and future emails from this domain. We can block the specific sender emails address. There is also a description field where the administrator can document why the sender domain or IP address is being blocked. Finally, Coro can close the ticket automatically after the selected response is applied. This is important because remediation and ticket management happen together. The administrator does not have to perform the security action in one portal and then return to another platform to update incident. So let's quick fix it. So it's all wrong. So what is the business value in that? A malicious attachment only needs to reach one employee. One open, it may compromise the device, steal credentials, or begin a much larger attack. Coro gives the security team the technical evidence and the response controls needed to remove the current message and prevent future messages from the same source. That turns a potentially serious malware incident into a controlled and document security event. Now let's move to another type. It is an spam. So spam may appear less serious than malware or phishing, but unwanted emails create several problems. It wastes employees' time, fills inboxes with unnecessary messages, create alert fatigue, and make generally dangerous messages more difficult to recognize. Attackers can also use spam-style campaigns to distribute malicious links, fake advertisement, fraudulent offers, and credential theft page. So let's open this alert. Here you can see all the details. Now move to the full tail section. Subject is change of password immediately. Again, it can trick you and take your information, take your credentials, and we can simply fill it by the add the sender's domain and permanently broken quick fix. And we can also check the action board. Here you can see if it is a uh, really, it is not suspicious, then you can allow it, or otherwise you can block it, or you want to investigate it, you can just generally download the email file, or you can simply contact the user and just the ticket, all the information with the ticket will send to that user, and after his response you can judge your action regarding that. So now let's another, which is brand impersonation. Yeah, here it is. This is the most convincing email attacks. Brand impersonation. Attackers know that users trust familiar brands. Microsoft, Google, Adobe, banks, delivery companies, and well-known technology providers. Instead of attacking those companies directly, criminals create an email that looks like almost identical to a legitimate brand notification. The overview tells us the Coro quarantined the email because it appears to impersonate a known brand using a visual or textual cues. Look closely at the sender address, admin@coro.net. At first glance, this mail looks similar to a trusted domain, but some of characters are not the normal letters used it in the legitimate domain. Attackers use visually similar Unicode characters to create domains that looks authentic to a human reader. Now let's move to the bullet detail section. The subject shows the sender. You can see here change of password immediately required, and here is the message ID and the country and the findings. Core identifies the detection type as brand domain spoofing. It also shows the underlying encoded domain. The displayed address may look familiar to the receipt, but the actual encoded domain is different. This kind of detail that most employees will never notice. A user may only see a familiar looking brand, some name, a company logo, and an urgent password required. Coro analyzes the technical domain structure and identifies the deception automatically. The quick fix allows us to block the sender, block the domain, delete the current email, delete future messages from the same source, and the close ticket. Here we can close. Simply we use this option, and this is going to resolve permanently. So the business value for this is brand impersonation works because it exploits trust. The email does not need to contain poor grammar or an obviously suspicious design. So now let's move to another ticket type, which gonna be email phishing. This particular ticket is labeled email phishing, deprecated in the demo environment. However, the underlying threat evidence is still very clear. Now you can see at the overview tells us Coro quarantine the email because it contained indicators of potential phishing attempts. The message appeared designed to mislead the recipient or harvest sensitive information. The information could include a username, a password, a verification code, financial information, or access to a cloud account. Now let's open the full details section. We can see the subject, change the password required immediately, and we can see the sender, we can see the message ID and the IP addresses and the user findings. We can simply use the action portion. Here you can simply say allow or block. We gonna with the block and permanently add the senders to the block list permanently and choose this option, and this gonna be resolved for permanently. And we can simply close the ticket now. So for the business failure, phishing email does not have been to install malware to the cause serious damage. If a user enters the password into a fake login page, the attacker may gain directly access to Microsoft 365. From there, the attacker may read emails, access documents, impersonate the employee, reset the accounts, or send additional phishing emails from a trusted internal mailbox. By identify the malicious links and quarantine suspicious messages, Coro helps stops attackers before stolen credentials become a large cloud security incident. So the detection we review today are only part of the email security module. From the email security module overview, Coro also monitors alerts such as suspicious content, suspicious metadata, user impersonation, blacklisted senders, and other types of like. Let me show you guys. Here you can see crowd, block list, block sender, domain spoofing, forbidden attachment type, spam, blocklisted IP, domain impersonation, email phishing, malware attachment, blocklist sender reported by user. So some are detected through the domain, others are detected through the authentication information, headers, links, attachments, or message behavior. The important point is to that all of these incidents appear in the same ticket log. The security does not need a separate investigation process of every type of email threat. The workflow remains consistent. Open the ticket, read the description, review the technical evidence, inspect the message, check the activity logs, and apply the appropriate responses. So one of the useful capabilities we have been throughout this demo is apply quick fix. Traditionally, email investigations can involve several separate tasks. The administrator may need to locate the message, delete it, update a blocked list, create a mail rule, document the reason, notify the user, and then close the incident. Coro brings those responses options directly into the security ticket. Depending on the incident, the administrator can permanently delete the current email, block the sender's email, block the sender's domain, block the originating IP addresses when available, delete future messages from the same source, allow a legitimate sender, download the original EML file, contact the affected user, and close the ticket. The response is directly connected to the evidence, though this reduces the chance that an important remediation step will be forgotten. It also gives administrators a clear record of what action was taken and why. So email threats move quickly. A malicious campaign may target several employees at the same time. A fake brand email may look completely legitimate. A phishing link may lead to a perfect copy of Microsoft login page, and a malicious attachment may appear to be an ordinary business document. Security teams need more than a spam folder. They need visibility, they need technical evidence, and they need the ability to respond without moving between multiple systems. Coro, email security, and other modules bring the investigation and response process into a centralized dashboard. It identifies different types of suspicious messages, organize them by priority, provide clear description, shows the technical findings, preserves the original message for investigation, offers allows and block controls, automate common remediations, faster investigation, consistent response, and stronger protection. So, my final thoughts are email is one of the most trusted communication tool inside every business. Employees use it to receive invoices, approve payments, share documents, reset passwords, communicate with customers, and access cloud services. That trust is exactly what attackers attempt to exploit. They imitate known brands. They disguise malicious attachments. They hide dangerous links behind legitimate looking buttons. They send messages from unsuspicious infrastructure, and they create urgency so users can act before thinking. Core email security analyzes those messages from multiple angles: the sender, the domain, the IP, the message content, the metadata, the links, the attachments, and the organization's security policies. When a threat identifies, Coro gives the security teams the evidence and response options needed to investigate and contain it quickly. If you would like to see how Coro protects your organization or your Microsoft 365 email environment, we would be happy to help you. At Blue Qubit Consulting, we offer a complimentary live demonstration and 15 days pilot, allowing you to experience Coro inside your own business. During the pilot, we can review your current email security posture, identifies potential security gaps, demonstrate how Coro handles suspicious emails, and how show you how centralized investigation and automated responses can simply your security operation. This is no obligation. So there is no obligation, sorry. And it is an opportunity to see how the platform using your own users, policies, and the business. If you are ready to strengthen your email security, contact Blue Qubit Consulting today. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next episode of the Coro Cybersecurity Demo Series. Thank you all.